Hello and welcome back to Yoga with me, Brittany. Thank you for practicing with me. If you're ready, let's get started. So, come into a seat and you're going to bring your feet out in front of you and bring the soles of your feet together. You can bring them closer to your hips, you can bring them far away, whatever your hips need. If your hips are tight, you're going to want to bring your feet farther away. And just sit up as tall as you can so that you have a straight spine. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths. But before we begin, I want to invite you to think about any emotions that you're feeling now. And while you're breathing, see if you can identify where in your body you feel them. This is a practice that my therapist has given me to work on, and so I'm passing it along to you. Can you identify where in your body a certain emotion is coming up? Maybe it's not right now you can do it. Maybe later on after you're done with the practice. I find that after I finish a yoga practice, sometimes I have an emotional release, and that can even come in the form of tears. Moving emotions through your body is what yoga does. And so we're just going to work on trying to identify where in our body we feel it. Is it a tightness in our chest, in our shoulders? Is it, some uncomfortableness in our stomach? What are you feeling? So that's what I'm working on, and I invite you to do the same. So let's just close our eyes and go within. Again, sit up tall and exhale anything that's just sitting in your lungs. Push it all out. Inhale. Exhale. Think about your body as you inhale and exhale. One more time. All right. You're going to fold your legs together and bring them off to the side so that you can come into a tabletop position. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath hips. Take an inhale in your flat back spine. And as you exhale, round your spine. Tuck your head and tailbone. Really arch your spine up. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and hips. Exhale, round. Can you round a little deeper this time? Inhale, lift. Really drop your belly, really try and lift your hips up. Lift your head. Exhale again. And notice if you need any other movements. I'm kind of stretching out my back and bottom shoulder muscles here. Sometimes I like to do like full circles, body circles, or torso rolls. So lots of options here. Just warm it up. Keep your breath flowing. Torso rolls would be like a combination of cat-cow. And I always feel really self-conscious when I do it because I feel like I can't do it very well. It's kind of like dancing, like a disassociation with my body, which is why I'm having a hard time feeling where in my body emotions live. So lots of work to do. There's always work to do, right? All right. If you are able to, flip your wrists 180 degrees, firm your abdomen. Inhale, lift your right leg, point your toes. As you exhale, bring that knee back down. Again, second side, lift, point, engage your abdomen, and bring it back down. You can rotate your wrists back forward, or maybe you just want to bring them out a little bit to the side. We're going to lift again the right leg. This time, you're going to tap on either side of your left foot for a few rounds. So that would be 2. This is 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5 on each side. Inhale, lift the left leg and start over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to center. Bring your knees wide. Send your hips back. Keep your toes together. Extend your arms forward. Child's pose. Bow your head. If you haven't already, take another deep breath. One more deep breath. Walk your hands back. Bring your knees together and then lift back up to your tabletop. With your wrists underneath your shoulders, curl your toes under, and we're just going to lift our knees an inch or two above the mat and hover. You're going to stretch out the back line of your feet here. You really need to engage your core, firm in your abdomen. Imagine pressing your heels back to deepen the stretch in your feet. And don't forget your breath. Take one more breath here. And as you inhale, go ahead and send your hips all the way back for downward facing dog. If you feel like your down dog stance is too short, you can go ahead and walk your hands forward a little bit, or maybe walk your feet back. And then let's pedal it out. Let's warm up this down dog, keeping the breath steady in line with the movements. Keep pressing each heel closer to the mat. And then here, send your hips back a little farther. Send your chest and armpits a little closer to the mat. And take a deep breath. Exhale, sigh it out. On your next inhale, send your right leg up and back for three-legged dog. Really reach your hand up to the I'm looking at my hand, thinking about the mosquito that's on the wrist. Really reach your heel up. And as you exhale, I want you to rock your body forward. If you're not able to bring your shoulders, if your wrists do not end up underneath your shoulders, walk them forward and keep your back heel lifted. Take a breath. As you exhale, bend your elbows back, do a dip, come back, and then back to your downward facing dog with one leg lifted. Exhale, bring it down. Second side, inhale, left leg up and back. Really point your toes. Press that right heel closer to the mat. On your next exhale, shift your body forward. Lower your leg to a hover. Keep it engaged. Keep your foot pointed. Engage in your abdomen still. Do another dip. And back to three-legged dog. Or down dog, one leg lifted, and exhale, bring it back down. Okay, take another deep breath. Exhale, sigh it out. And then come down to your knees. Walk your hands back. Step your right foot to the top of your mat, and then hinge forward. Knee on top of ankle. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, and really extend your fingers up to the ceiling. Keep your hands lifted. Keep your arms on either side of your head. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring it back down. Now send your hips back, straighten in your front leg, and lift your toes and bow your head. Really breathe into that back line of your leg. My knee might be a little forward, so you ideally want your knee underneath your hip. This is half split. And let's rock it back forward and step it back. Second side, so we're going to lift on up and then bring our left foot forward. Hinge forward at our hips, knee on top of ankle. Inhale, lift here. Extend your fingertips up, 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 up. Take a deep breath. Stay for your exhale. And then lower. Send your hips back. Lift your top leg. Straighten to your capacity and just bow your head. Take a deep breath into the back line of your leg. And come forward again. Lower all the way down to your belly. Bring the tops of your feet to the floor, arms alongside your torso with palms face up, and then send your chin forward. Lift your head and then squeeze your shoulders together on your back. You can stay here in locust one, pressing your hands and the tops of your feet to the mat. Feel your kneecaps lift, or you can inhale and lift everything. Reach it on back. Squeeze your shoulders together. Squeeze your glutes. Lift, lift, lift. One more breath. And as you exhale, lower everything down. Now press your hands up and come into standing. We're going to take a tree pose. So place your weight onto your left foot. Either right heel is a kickstand, or it's on your calf, or it's at the root of your inner thigh. It is not on your knee. Toes are pointing straight down, knee out to the side. Find your focal point. Lift your arms up overhead. You can place your palms together or keep them wide. And pull your belly button closer to your spine. And think about opening your right knee out to the right just a little bit. Don't forget to breathe. On your next exhale, you're going to bring it on down and do the second side. So choose where you want that foot to go. Inhale, lift as you find your focal point. Find that stability. That's what the focal point is for. So make sure your focal point is not something that moves. You want it to be steady so that you can aim to be steady as well. And think about opening that left knee out to the left. A little bit more. And as you exhale, come on down. All right, we're going to come back down to the mat. Place your hands back at the top, outer shoulder width apart, index fingers pointing straight ahead. Separate those fingers evenly. Grip the floor with your fingerprints, the base of your palm. Curl your toes under, send your hips back to downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing that we just did. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. As you exhale, rock your body forward, lower your leg to a hover. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Take one dip and back to three-legged dog and bring it back down. Second side, inhale, left leg. As you exhale, rock forward, lower your leg to a hover, keep your foot pointed, pull your belly button in and dip. Three-legged dog and back down. Take a deep breath here as you tilt your hips up. All right. Now, bend your knees, walk them to the middle of your mat, walk your hands back to your feet. Take a forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows here, sway side to side. On your next inhale, hands on shins, lift halfway. Exhale, slide back down. Inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms with you, lift all the way up. Keep your arms lifted, bring your feet together. Take your right hand and grab your left wrist, stretch up, and then side bend to the left, to the right. Gently pull on your left wrist with your right hand. Press down evenly in both feet. Back through center, switch. Reach and pull your right wrist up, then lean. and back through center. Exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Inhale, lift your arms out in front of you. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back in your hips, and keep extending your fingertips forward as you continue to sit a little deeper. Check your knees. If you can see all 10 toes, that's great. If you cannot, then see if you can sit back a little more. Firm in your abdomen. Take another breath. And exhale, another forward fold. Send your hips up, or maybe keep your knees bent. Maybe press the floor away from you, like so. And this will stretch out muscles in your back. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, slide back down. Come back all the way down to the mat. Tops of feet to the floor. This time we're going to interlace. Walk our arms down our back. Squeeze our shoulders together. Send your chin forward. Inhale, lift everything. See if you can lift your hands off of your glutes. Point those toes. Keep those legs engaged. Keep that breath strong. And exhale, release. Hands back underneath shoulders. Grip the floor. Separate your fingers evenly. Curl your toes under as you separate your feet hip width. And then lift back up through plank. Then bend your knees. Send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Again, same thing. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, rock forward. Hover your back foot. Try and keep it in line with your hip. I have no way of knowing if that's happening, but I think it is. And then exhale, take your dip, back up, and back down. Second side, inhale up. Exhale forward, hover, dip, back to three-legged dog, and then bring it back down. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, cleanse it out, sigh it out. All right, now back down to your knees, walk your hands back, lift on up. You're going to again step your right foot forward with a bend, and then again follow with your hips. Sit as low as you can. Now, you can stay here, or again, you can lift your arms up overhead like we did before, or you can place your left hand outside of your mat, outside of the line of your shoulder, so that you can lean and look back over your right shoulder. Bend your left knee, grab onto it with your right hand, and bring your foot a little closer to your hip. All the while, if you have your back foot, you still want to sit a little deeper in your hips. If you have that back foot, you can release it. Frame your front foot with your hands. Send your hips back. Step back. Lift on up. Left foot forward. Slight bend, and then follow with your hips. Maybe you lift and stay right here. If you want the quad stretch, bring your right hand down outside of your mat, outside of the line of your shoulder. Twist in your torso. Look over your left shoulder. Bend your right knee. Take your left hand. Grab that foot. Bring it closer to your hip. Again, still trying to sit deep in your hips. And trying to breathe. All right, if you have your back foot, let it go. Frame your front foot with your hands, send your hips back, and then walk your hands back. Make your way into a standing position. Once you're there, come into your wide stance. Left heel in line with left pinky toe, and then turn your right toes out 90 degrees and bend into your knee. Keep that knee open to the side, and then open up through your heart out to the sides with your arms. Turn your head to gaze over your right fingertips. As you're in your warrior two, you want to press down on the outer edge of that left foot, all four corners of your right foot, Maybe sink a little deeper in your hips. Keep the firmness in your arms as you extend them out, like someone is pulling each arm. And on your next exhale, flip your right palm, reach it back, and let your left hand fall onto your left leg for peaceful warrior. Lift on up. Place your elbow on your knee. Lift your left arm up and across for extended side angle. Make sure your right shoulder is away from your right ear. You don't want it up here. So push it down onto your back and reach over one more place with that top arm. And then back to warrior two. As you inhale, straighten your right leg, lower your arms, turn your right leg parallel, your right foot parallel to your left. Toes are in alignment, right heel in line with your right pinky toe, and then turn your left toes out 90 degrees. Bend into your knee, knee on top of ankle. Again, open up through your heart, arms out to either side, turn and gaze over your left fingertips. It really takes a lot of control to hold these poses for several seconds. Builds up your strength and increases your flexibility. All right, up and back with your left arm. Right arm goes to right leg. Peaceful warrior. As you inhale, lift on up. Place your left elbow on your left knee. Lift your right arm up and across your face and push that left shoulder down onto your back. One more breath here. And then bring it back to your warrior two. And lower your arms, straighten that left leg, turn your left foot parallel to your right, and then bend your knees, place your hands on your hips, lean forward. Maybe you straighten your legs, maybe you don't, but place your hands on the mat underneath you or the floor. Feel free to stay here in wide leg, flat back, forward fold, or walk your hands back and then bow your head. Keep that breath going. If your hands are between your feet, walk them forward, and then bring your heels in a little bit, bend your knees, place your hands on your thighs, lift on up, heel toe your feet together, and then come on down. Welcome, Millie. I'm not sure if she's on camera yet, but Millie is here. And I'm not sure if you've seen Stella, but Stella was here earlier. I know sometimes they float in and off camera when I'm not aware. All right, so we are going to come down onto our backs and then lift our legs up an imaginary wall for waterfall pose. Get that blood circulating. You can flex your feet. You can point your feet. Whatever feels right. Now, I want you to bend your left knee and place your foot on the mat in front of your hips. Bend your right knee. See if you can grab the outer edges of your foot and then extend. If you're not able to extend all the way, that's fine. You can get there over time, or you can just keep the bend. That's okay too. Find what feels good as you gently press down on that left foot. And then bend, release your foot, place that foot on the mat, lift your left leg while bend your knee, and then grab the outer edges of your foot. Extend as much as you can, bringing that foot a little closer to your face. As you exhale, release your foot, bring it back down to the mat, and now pick up your right foot, flex it, place it on top of your left knee or behind your left knee on the thigh, and then pick up your left foot. Maybe interlace in front of your hamstring and gently pull closer to your chest. If it's fairly easy for you to do that, try interlacing in front of your shin and bending that knee a little more and bringing, again, the whole unit closer to your face. If this is really doable, a real challenge is lift your foot, grab either side of it, and keep the knee bent and gently pull down. This is a very tight, or it's a very deep outer hip stretch. So be sure to breathe if you do this version. Any version, you really need to be breathing. Take one more breath. As you exhale, release. Place both feet on the mat. Now, left foot on top of right thigh. Pick up your right foot, maybe interlace here, maybe in front of your shin. I am going to try the foot thing again. Oh, hi, Stella. Thanks for coming here. She has leaves in her tail. Product of living in the woods now. We used to live in an apartment. If you've seen my old videos, you could tell my cats were a little cooped up. And now they're free to roam. All right. Wherever you are in your stretch, place both feet back down on the mat. And now windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Hopefully that feels good on your low back. And like we did in the beginning, but a reclined version, you're going to again bring the soles of your feet to touch and allow your knees to fall open. You choose how close you want your heels to your hips. You choose where you want your arms to rest. And just breathe. Are you noticing where you're feeling emotions in your body? Still have to work on that. Take your hands, close your knees together, extend your left leg out, bend your right knee into your chest, and let's pull closer to our chest before we do our twist. Now take your left hand, pull your right knee across your torso, find your twist, send your right arm and your gaze to the right. Come back through center, send that leg out. Press down on your right heel as you lift your left knee and squeeze it in. This is a good time to close your eyes and just surrender to the rest that is involved in these stretches. It's like active rest. After your next exhale, take that right hand, pull your left knee across your torso for your twist. Send your left arm and your gaze to the left. And bring your knees back through center. Pick up both of your knees and wrap your arms around them to give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side if it feels good. If you want to add in a happy baby, open your knees, grab the outer edges of your feet, gently pull down, framing your torso with your thighs. And here you can add movement too. You can rock, you can straighten one leg, Straighten the other. Whatever you do on one side, try and even it out on the other. And as you're ready, we are going into Shavasana. So now is your chance to pause the video, take as long of a Shavasana as you need. Really think about where you're feeling things in your body. Focus on your breath. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.